Have any of you guys heard of the movie The Ice Road?
No.
It was a Netflix release a couple years ago. It's a Liam Neeson action movie. Probably one of the better recent Liam Neeson action movies because he's like an ice road truck driver.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to like run or do a lot of other things that would show you that he's in his 70s now. It came out, it was a Netflix movie, and I guess it did well enough to get a sequel, but Netflix didn't buy the sequel, right? Like some of these Netflix movies are actually produced by Netflix. This one was not. It was just like Netflix bought the rights and released it. So this sequel is getting a very limited theatrical release
I can
as
imagine.
part of it's literally in probably less than 2 dozen theaters. And every theater I saw showing it has one showing a day, which I at some point would love to figure out what the like economics going on here, whether there's some like legal benefit to being like technically this is a theatrical release and they're just fulfilling that, because it's very weird. And the movie theaters that are showing it do not make any sense at all, right? Like it's not a situation where it's like, oh, only in the biggest cities or something like that.
It's not just LA and New York.
So there's one theater in the Pittsburgh area showing it. And are you guys, I guess Pitt Girl is the only one that might have heard of this. Have you ever heard of the Pittsburgh Mills Mall?
No, where is that?
So that's, if you go up 28, it's like up that way, like past like Oakmont.
Okay.
You get to Pittsburgh Mills Mall. Now, Pittsburgh Mills Mall is in the news a lot now because it's a dying mall. Local news can get a lot of stories out of that. So,
yes, this is one of the like dead ass malls.
yes. So,
not as dead as Century 3 though.
Century 3 has officially been demolished after being like the government went to court to make them demolish it, which is always that's always a fun process when it gets to that point. But Pittsburgh Mills Mall, the thing that's most in the news for right now is all of the potholes around like the roads leading to the mall, because the roads are all maintained by the same company as the mall.
Too many ice road truckers on it.
So that's what I'm saying. I love that the only theater within hundreds of miles of me showing Ice Road 2 is the one with impassable roads. I just think that's beautiful.
Love it.
And that's why I didn't go see it. Like if it was in a theater, the distance was not the issue. I was like, I'm not driving my car on the Pittsburgh Mills Mall's roads.
I think, but it's giving you the full ice road experience, which in almost July in Pittsburgh is honestly impressive.
It's definitely immersive. I just don't think I want that immersion in my Honda Civic.
Was Ice Road Truckers the show on like the Weather Channel or something?
Or on AMC
Discovery, wasn't it?
That was
a
one
of the like non-history History Channel shows.
Yeah, I thought it was like Discovery or History Channel or something in that nature.
Man,
Ice Road Truckers.
I watched so much Deadliest Catch back in the day.
It was on the
a non-history History Channel show.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Ice Road Truckers is a reality television series that aired on History Channel from 2007 to 2017. It featured the activities of drivers who operated trucks on ice roads crossing frozen lakes and rivers in remote territories in Canada and the United States. Seasons 3 through 6 also featured Alaska's improved but still remote Dalton Highway, which is mainly snow-covered solid ground. False advertising.
That's not an ice road. Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of June 29th, 2025. As always, I am Jordan. With me tonight, we have Commish, Pitt Girl, Commish, Pitt Girl, special guest Big Sky Brigit, and Arthur on the ones and twos. Commish, how are you, sir?
Good. Fun weekend, relaxing weekend. My 2-year-old, we took her to a trampoline park.
Oh, I love those things.
Yeah, we couldn't keep up with her. And like her body's like jello. At this point, like this jumping on the trampolines, just flopping everywhere. It's quite entertaining. Some interesting videos I sent to my mom, and my family watching the 2-year-old try to jump on the trampoline. It was fun. Just a relaxing weekend. Of course, it's super hot, and you just do stuff in giant AC conditioned areas. That's it. That's all you do.
Pitt Girl, how are you?
I'm back. I have returned. Yes, I have returned. I was not, as mentioned on last Tuesday's show. For the record, I was not moving anything around in Iran. I have never been there. I do appreciate that you think that I might be involved in some sort of international incident, but no, I was just hanging out on a lake.
Sure you were.
That's what
I was. I have the watch tan to prove it.
That's what you.
Oh, you do.
I mean,
Man,
I'm
you could
so
get a
white
watch.
that
You could
having
get a
a
watch
watch
tan.
tan is remarkable.
You could get a watch tan in the Middle East.
Yeah, in
could
Tehran.
happen.
You could totally get a watch tan in Tehran.
I guess.
Especially when you're flying planes that close to the sun.
Brigit, how are you?
Is Pitt Girl Icarus or Daedalus in this scenario?
Both.
I also have a watch tan. I'm good. We're back to routine. The kids came home from the grandparents this weekend, and we've been taking it easy because everything starts again tomorrow. I have to actually get up and leave my house in the morning, go to day camp, which I've discovered my brain needs me to trick it into working, which means I have to leave the house in the morning just so it starts working because my brain went AWOL last week.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Man, I've never been to a trampoline park. Like, what makes it like a park as opposed to just like
trampolines?
So there's because Commish is holding up a video on his phone. So that's like, I mean, that looks like, what was that one basketball thing they did?
Slam ball. Yeah, it's kind of just like, it's slam ball, but it's the park, and like you just jump all over it. There's a section that does have the basketball things. So you just eats it there.
Listener, if you've ever seen the first episode of The Righteous Gemstones, where Kelvin goes to the trampoline park, it's basically just that. And we have one here, and my kids ask to go all the time because they're sensory seeking, and that's the perfect place to be sensory seeking.
Pitt Girl, I want to start tonight off with you and me talking about the U.S. men's national team.
They're so fucking embarrassing. I understand that we won, which is good, but also, oh my God. Especially after watching the U.S. women's national team beat the shit out of Ireland twice in a week.
Took the old shillelagh to the Irish women, yes.
Yeah.
Can I say
what
that?
What if the men's team was like that?
But they're not, and they're never going to be. And listener, tonight they played Costa Rica in the Gold Cup quarterfinal, gave up an early stupid penalty. Costa Rica was up 1-0. U.S. manages to come back, go up 2-1. Could have been more, but they missed a penalty. Costa Rica scores in like the 70th minute. And then I remembered this. Gold Cup went to CONMEBOL rules, where there is no extra time. We go straight to penalties. Which I always hate that about Copa America. I always forget about it until we get there. And then I'm like, shit, we have to go straight to penalties, and I hate it. The U.S., of course, made this painful in every single way, and then made the penalties as painful as possible, too.
Yep. Shout out to our friend Sebastian Berhalter for sending the ball to the moon. I think it's still on its way up, honestly. I would also legitimately like to shout out Matt Freeze, who is huge and did a hell of a job doing goalie things as a 6'4" guy. I can't wait for him to be the new of course now I can't remember his name, but the Tampa Bay Lightning had a goalie in the like mid to late aughts who like the whole thing with him was like, did you know he's 6'6"? Did you know that this goalie is an enormous man? That's Matt Freeze, but also he's good.
So did you find out where Matt Freeze went to college?
No.
He's a Harvard man.
God damn it, no!
Wait, so there's going to be 2 fun facts about him for sports broadcasts?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
The Ryan Fitzpatrick rule.
His career went Bethlehem Steel, Philadelphia Unions 1 and 2, and now he plays for New York City FC and Harvard, of course.
Oh yeah, he's from Wayne, Pennsylvania.
Where's Wayne?
Oh yeah, Delco.
If you say Philly area, I don't know what that means anymore.
That is the Philly area. It's in Delaware County on the main line.
U.S. is going on to play Guatemala. Guatemala, who absolutely stole one from Canada.
Well, they beat Canada in penalties too.
They stole, like, that was a stolen win. Canada should have won that very easily, and they did not.
Well, Canada went down to 10 with a nice hockey hip check for a second yellow, and they had to play the entire second half. Had to play the entire second half with 10 men. I think I upset somebody in the Discord the other day.
Why?
By saying that the United States men's soccer team was NC State.
Yeah, that
and
feels right.
Were,
and
were
they
they an
and
NC State fan or a U.S. soccer team fan?
they were an NC State fan, and the NC State fan said that's the meanest thing that anybody's ever said to me.
Didn't
And-
our friends at Channel 6 determine that the U.S. men's national team is Tennessee?
No, Tennessee makes it to the playoffs nowadays.
Yeah, Tennessee's been too good.
So good. But then our friend from across the pond came in over the top and said actually Mexico was NC State, because Mexico always makes the round of 16, and that is it. In the World Cup, that's all they could do. You know, I mean, the U.S. has had a little bit more success with some Confederation Cup runs and, you know, quarterfinals every now and then. But
I would still go Texas A&M for the U.S. men's national team.
it feels kind of right.
So the highest that Mexico ever got was the quarterfinals twice when the World Cup was in Mexico, both times.
In 86 and 68?
70.
Oh, okay.
So you're telling me there's a chance next year?
Also, in 2022, they got bounced into the group stage, which ended their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 World Cup run of being bounced in the round of 16.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with like being that. Like,
No.
you're just being like, you're a college football team that is like at the edge of the top 25. And that's what I equated NC State with. Like they're hanging in between 21 to 25. And then sometimes you'll see like NC State creep up to 12 and you're like, whoa, buddy. Whoa.
Yo, this is how Icarus falls. I know this story.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you know,
you gotta go 8-4, my guy. That's how it works.
You know, you get too close to the sun and then the wings burn off. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's a frustrating like experience as a fan, because you're like, when am I going to get over the hump? You know,
If I get to teach stats again, I absolutely want to teach reversion to the mean with NC State football. Here's what happens when you get too far from the mean. It drags you back kicking and screaming.
Like, I love NC State football because it's just like, as a ULM fan, I would love to be NC State. Like, just give me the perpetual 8-4, 9-3 Mayo Bowl, Pop-Tart Bowl appearance. Like, give me that, but like the G5 version of it, and just give me that. You know, I mean, really, as a ULM fan, I'm just like, give me Eastern Michigan, give me Chris Creighton right now. I mean, just give me that, please. So, I mean, I don't think it's an insult to NC, but if you're an NC State fan, I feel like you can think it's a slight. So I apologize for that.
They've been having some real problems winning a bowl game. NC State hasn't won a bowl game since 2017. They beat Arizona State in the Sun Bowl. Arizona State, NC State Sun Bowl. That is so fucking us coded.
Yes.
Holy shit.
We just didn't exist yet then.
Who was the Arizona State coach then?
2017 Arizona State. That's going to be
Todd
Todd Graham in year 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Dave Doran was there at NC State because he's the Highlander.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Billy Napier.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we all forgot that, didn't we?
If it's the 2017 season, we do have a podcast somewhere with the two of us on that one.
Oh, well, no, that would have been the 2016 season.
Oh, that would have been the 2016. You're right. Yeah. So then we don't. Never mind.
Pour one out for the fifth quarter bowl preview, which I think is actually still available on Mixcloud.
We're gonna dig up your old things and cancel you for things that you said.
I mean, don't. But I did call Kansas beating Texas on that podcast.
Oh, really angering Jordan already.
When have I ever gotten weird about Texas losses except for the Oklahoma game? That's the only game I get weird about.
Okay.
A&M probably now too. Throw that in the basket. But honestly, I don't respond badly to Texas losses. I know lots of Texas fans that do. Hey, Big Girl, did you like that Penn State Texas license plate I found?
Yeah, no, that shit's cursed. Jail for that person.
Listeners, I was driving around and I found a Penn State Texas license plate. Because in Texas, you have so many options of schools and colleges you can pick from for your plates. And they don't require them to be in state. Like Ohio does for some weird reason. But a lot of other places, you get your choices. And in Texas, you get your choices. Now, there is a plate that I've never seen. And it is on my list. It is my golden goose. And there's a Colorado School of Mines plate for Texas. And if I ever found that, I would ascend into another level. People tell me that going out west would help this.
I feel like white whale was the term you were looking for there.
Yes.
Golden goose, white whale, same thing. Sure.
No.
I feel like you would go in West Texas, maybe the Lubbock area,
Yeah.
You could possibly see one of those. Maybe El Paso area where there's mines. That
Well,
could be
they're
good.
all engineers, so a lot of them do
Yeah.
petroleum engineering, so they're thinking out west.
It'd be funny if you go to Marfa or something. Go to Sul Ross State and Alpine or Alpine, whatever you want to call it.
Arthur, I found it. It is still on Mixcloud.
It's
Honestly,
still C2,
like,
V2, right?
I'm just
Sul Ross
impressed
V2, yes.
for Mixcloud still being online. and
Yeah,
being
no,
around.
same.
See, I think we're at a point now in the world of the internet where because the cloud exists, things will last at least a little longer. They're not quite as vulnerable to link rot.
I don't
the internet.
know. I mean,
We've been over this.
there's a lot of stuff that, a few weeks ago, or not even a few weeks ago, a few months ago when we were doing that flag draft, we could not find the picture that all of us remembered of the Popeyes flags lining the grandstands at the Bahamas Bowl.
But that's in was it 2015, 2016? No, before that. How old was that picture? Because I think that's
20. Yeah, that's about then. It was, I think, the first Bahamas Bowl, but that's it's one of the newest bowl games.
Okay, that is.
I mean, the very famous, remember the selfie that Ellen took at the Oscars? That photo is not online anymore. At least the original. Obviously people have copied it, but lots of stuff that you think oh, is that still right? It's not, because storage costs money.
It was 2014, so it's a little older than I thought it was. So I consider 2014 to still sort of be back in that nebulous period. We've talked about this on the podcast before, that when we're doing research for stuff, it's easier if it's in the 1920s sometimes than if it were in the early to mid 2000s, because that shit just doesn't exist.
Yeah, it just disappears. The internet is not actually forever, kids.
But hopefully, thanks to
post those party pictures.
Thanks to archive.org, they're trying to make it forever.
The time that I was in college, the internet it doesn't work anymore, and I'm eternally grateful for that.
Oh, for sure. When I was on Facebook at first, they didn't have pictures, and that was great.
Yeah, I'm glad.
It was just people talking about each other. Okay, what else do we have here? Arthur, I need to hear your updates from the 47th. Did we decide it was 47th? 44th Italian Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Held place in the Glass Bowl in Toledo. The Firenze Guelfi dominate the Ancona Dolphins.
I mean, they scored a lot of touchdowns sponsored by Marco's Pizza.
Good to know they had a sponsor.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't as cool as it was 2 years ago. And I think pretty much everyone kind of knew that. 2 years ago, it was a novelty to have the Italian Bowl in Toledo. And this time around, I mean, it was cool. You get an opportunity to tailgate. You do it right, you're going to have a good time. A couple areas, right? Number one, just in terms of all of the various vendors they brought in and whatnot, there were way fewer this year. Last time they had a big kind of grassy area full of all sorts of tables with people selling stuff, just kind of a, not really a farmer's, a craft market, I guess. I don't know what that's called, but they didn't have this year. They had a lot fewer food trucks before the game, all sorts of things. I remember 2 years ago, right, the Glass Bowl, I guess they have a deal with Domino's, where Domino's is the pizza that they sell at the concession stands. But this game, both times, has been sponsored by Marco's Pizza. 2 years ago, they had the concession stands themselves in the stadium not selling any pizza. Marco's had a bunch of tables set up around the stadium to sell Marco's Pizza.
Oh, nice.
And this year, even though Marco's was still sponsoring the game, they didn't bother with that. It was just yeah, they have Domino's at the concession stands. It was a smaller crowd, I think. The weather wasn't as nice. I mean, it wasn't great weather last time. It was kind of a threat of rain. But this time around, it was, high 80s, sunny. And so honestly, I would rather be out in the rain than that weather, probably. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had a good time this year. I probably had a better time 2 years ago. And I'm not really sure. Obviously, I don't know the financials or anything like that behind this game. But, if they announced that they're not going back to Toledo 2 years from now, I would get it. It might have kind of run its course.
I wonder how long they got their contract for with Toledo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And even in terms of like who we had, like 2 years ago, there were a lot more people. Like I saw more people at the game 2 years ago that were there kind of because of us, that like
Yeah.
heard about it through us, that came to say hi. We definitely didn't have as big of a presence just in terms of like getting people out this year. And I guess there could be a bunch of reasons why that would be. I did talk to multiple people there that were like, well, I'm here to check it out, but I have to leave pretty early to get to the Channel 6 event in Ann Arbor.
Oh
So
yeah.
I wonder if the Italian Bowl's problem was just going up head to head against Channel 6.
That's saying something.
Could have been.
I mean, well, okay, but when you think who would attend an Italian Bowl?
Oh, absolutely. It would be folks that follow us or Channel 6. Yeah, absolutely.
And the Venn diagram there is like a small circle and a very large circle, and the small circle is almost but not entirely inside the large circle.
Oh yeah, like there are very few people where there's no crossover with our folks.
I don't know. You'd be surprised. Not necessarily because of people like, oh, I don't like the other one, but people who are just not that aware of various things.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
you'd
that's
be
fair.
surprised.
I don't know. Listener, if you listen to us but don't and have never listened to the Shutdown Fullcast and are not my dad, sound off in the comments.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to see that circle. We need to talk about Sacramento State for the 7th week in a row.
Hey, hold on. We got Italian Bowl, man. Like the Friends won it. Then there was a proposal after the game.
Oh, sorry, I totally forgot the proposal.
Yeah, there was a proposal. One of the linemen proposed to his girlfriend on the field after they won the title,
Oh,
and
that's
she
so
said
nice.
yes.
That's so nice.
Do you keep the ring in your pocket if you don't win the title?
It's tough to pass up romance in a city like Toledo, Ohio.
Toledo, it's for lovers.
It's no longer Virginia anymore. Virginia is not for lovers.
When I lived in Virginia, I was so confused about the lovers thing. And also, they call things a kissin' park. I had
What?
a kissin' park. It's where
The
you
fuck
drop
is
someone
that?
off. Okay,
Is that like the Pittsburgh version of Eaton Park?
sorry,
Eden Park is the Pittsburgh version of
I'm
Eden
wrong
Park.
here. It's called a kiss and ride. Sorry, kiss and ride.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say like a kissing park, probably like a skate park where someone could do some skateboard tricks.
No, apparently a kiss and ride. I always just assumed it was like a park and ride where you drop someone off for public transit. But I guess you just drop someone off and you give them a kiss and send them out. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
I was assuming a kiss and ride was like Garfield's Nightmare where I worked at Kennywood.
I typed in kiss and park because I got it wrong the first time. First thing to come up with Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, a great 1978 telemovie, a made for TV movie about Kiss and evil Kiss, and then being at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It was great.
Was that made before or after Kiss Save Santa?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know their film.
It was a Family Guy joke. It was a Family Guy joke.
Oh, I was going to say, you wouldn't surprise me if they had it because it's Kiss. They'll do anything. Okay,
Man, I feel like we don't get like actual movies for like artists like this anymore.
No, I mean, when's the last band movie you saw?
Right, like we get concert films.
What country is it from? There's still lots of band movies in Asia.
Oh, but
that tracks.
Right, that is true. That is 100% true. In the States, anymore.
I see a lot of like Asian pop stars having like cameos or like smaller roles in other movies, but it's not like
they're full on like full band movies.
Okay.
Like I have an entire hard drive of them.
I feel like we got to do that here with some of our. I don't know which musical artists would be well suited to that now, but
Mumford and Sons. Where's my Mumford and Sons caper movie? Are they still together? I hope they're still together.
They can't do a caper movie. There's too much stomp clap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not sneaky.
They're too loud. They're too loud.
Like
because immediately, Arthur, my thought goes to if you make a band movie like this, then you also have to be in an episode of Scooby Doo. It's that same vibe to me. Like Harlem Globetrotters were in Scooby Doo. Kiss was probably in Scooby Doo. I think Laurel and Hardy or Abbott and Costello were in Scooby Doo. Let's talk about the Big Sky. Well, let's talk about Sac State first. For the 7th week in a row, we're going to be covering Sac State on this podcast. And it is because Sacramento State got told no by the D1 council that they could not become FBS. So Sacramento State has retained prominent antitrust and sports attorney Jeffrey Kessler, who has been helping the school in its efforts to move to FBS football. Kessler is exploring legal avenues after the NCAA's decision to deny Sac State a waiver to play FBS football.
Can I just say, I love that there is a specific guy for like antitrust sports law.
This is all he does.
Apparently, that's
This
all he
is
does
one
is
thing.
sue the he sues the NCAA all the
Well,
time.
no, but it's
Yeah.
it's not just the NCAA. Like you look
Nope.
at he's done it in a bunch of other sports too. He's currently suing NASCAR on behalf of Michael Jordan, also on antitrust grounds. Like this is just it reminds me of a movie trope that I feel like has gone away, where I feel like you used to have a movie where the premise of the movie would just be when you have this very specific situation, you call this guy. Like he is blank, right? Like
I mean, it's like Dr. James Andrews for like the Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
right,
This,
right.
This
It's
is
like
the guy.
This is like
the
wolf
one
from
guy
Pulp
that
Fiction.
does this one thing.
Yeah.
He has a very specific set of skills, and it's suing on antitrust grounds.
So let's see here. I'm looking at his history. He was the one that got the unanimous decision from the Supreme Court, NCAA versus Alston.
Okay.
He was the one there. He also served as the counsel for the United States women's national team in the pay discrimination.
Okay.
He also was involving, let's see here. He represented New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady in Deflategate, along with 5 Saints players in Bountygate. Yes.
Okay, so he is the sports lawyer.
There's some other cases too, but it's not really broken down well, a lawyer's Wikipedia page. So but there's a couple other ones. Oh my god, he's represented like everybody. Some of these names I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, no, it's not all good. You pick the best ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip over the other ones.
So let's talk about the other side of this, because Sac State is out of the Big Sky starting 2 years from now. This is their last year in
2026. Yes,
there'll be a FCS independent or FBS independent, or who the fuck knows? Maybe they'll be in the SEC. I don't know if I can know. Maybe
Notre Dame and UConn join forces in a.
So
Notre Dame contractually has to join the ACC if they join any conference.
Like Notre Dame would just hire this guy and get out of that.
No, this is the epitome of, if we're both not married when we're 30, we'll get together because it just makes sense. In the Big Sky, they're going to add Utah Tech and Southern Utah. Now, this is interesting because it makes a lot of sense. Utah Tech, nay Dixie State, has been sort of newer in FCS ball. Southern Utah has a long history and has a history in the Big Sky.
Mm-hmm.
They basically gave him the double birds and went peace about 10 years ago? No, sooner than that.
2021.
No, very recently.
Okay,
yeah,
very recently.
Last year.
Yeah.
And so this brings this brings all Utah FCS schools into the same conference. They'll join Weber. And yeah, this is something where I don't know if it makes the conference better, but it makes it more stable. We'll talk about what it does to another conference in a moment. Richard, how are you feeling about your new partners?
So there was a short video on Instagram earlier this last week with Coach Tom. Oh, I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to try. He told me how to say it, and I can hear it in my head, but I can't make my mouth make those sounds. It brings more schools to a lot of different sports, especially things like softball, because right now they've got 6, and you have to run 6 to field a sport. So now they'll get like 7 for like golf, softball, sports like that. I think it makes sense if you're the Big Sky to add those schools that are already in your footprint.
You don't lose anything from this.
Right. You there are some things that, like, some facilities that need upgrading before they join the Big Sky, which, I mean, joining the conference, they will get money from that to be able to do that. Being in a larger conference that has more eyes on it will also get more money for the school. I don't really see a downside there. You've also got another natural rivalry here with these schools, so that's another bonus.
And with Weber too.
Yeah, I don't really see a downside to this. I think it will be interesting. These are in some really cool places. Southern Utah's gorgeous as just a
I don't
place
even know
if you've
what
never been there.
Southern Utah's in.
So Southern Utah is
No, just
in.
Southern General,
Oh, okay,
Southern
okay.
Utah, the region.
Oh,
Like-
Utah Tech is in St. George, Utah, which is
Yes.
kind of like the opposite side of the Grand Canyon.
Yes.
Kind of a little bit western to that. And then Southern Utah is in Cedar City, I believe.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, you're right.
Cedar City. So basically, they essentially connect NAU, which is like one of the most southern teams in the Big
Sky schools. Yeah.
Yeah. So they connect those two because you could go essentially from Flagstaff through like Grand Canyon National Park to get to St. George around the way. You have to go around like the Grand Canyon, the rim of it to get there. And it's like really close to Zion National Park.
Yeah, there's just a grip of national parks in that area. Like you got Zion, you got Arches, you got Bryce Canyon, you've got the Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon National Recreation Area. Pour one out for the canyon, which is now underwater.
Why haven't we built a bridge over the Grand Canyon?
Because of the fucking majesty of nature, my dude.
Yeah, but it takes so long to get around, though, right? Like that's a problem.
That's part of the point.
I mean, no, that's
okay.
no.
But in terms
this is
of
a good
where
hole in
population is, like
how
there's just a lot of people.
From an engineering standpoint, explain to me how you're going to make the support system for the bridge over the Grand Canyon be worth it. This isn't the Susquehanna.
You pick a narrow, ugly spot. Not all of the Grand Canyon's majesty. There's got to be some shitty Grand Canyon. And so you pick what? There's got to be Grand Canyon.
I just want to know where you thought you saw this part of the
10
conversation.
10 miles wide is too wide for a suspension bridge.
I would rather build a bridge to Hawaii than build a bridge over the Grand Canyon.
I mean, I think we should tunnel under it.
Okay,
but that's the Colorado River, though.
Yeah, but you can go under it. I mean, like you got the tunnel in Baltimore that goes under the bay. Like, how hard could it be?
Oh, but
we're literally just doing. We're going on a bear hunt. Can't go over it. Can't go under it. Got to go around it.
There's not a good way to get around it either. There's not like there's not like a Grand Canyon road. There's sort of. But still.
I'm sure there's a lot of heavy population and a lot of traffic that has to get around the Grand Canyon.
But imagine how much better it would be. Sometimes you don't know what people want until you put it there. You put it there, and they figure out that they love it. If you guys don't understand my genius, then that's fine. I mean,
Jordan, I can't wait until you also invent the bus from First Principles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pulling it up on the map. I just can't really see a use case for needing to go, like, in terms of like large numbers of people needing to go from one side of the Grand Canyon to the other.
Grand Canyon
to the other.
It's the Grand Canyon tourist. You just build it for the tourists. Hey, you want to see you go to the south rim, and you want to see the north rim. Just take the bridge to the north rim, right?
We're gonna make the skywalk go all the way across.
Yeah. So you can do the Grand Canyon Village
is dangerous enough.
and connect it to the north rim. There you go. There's your bridge.
I'd be okay with a skywalk. Just so we're clear, I could do a skywalk and not a bridge.
There's already a skywalk. It goes a little bit out over, and you can look down and you can go, holy shit, and then you can go back.
But what if you could keep going? You could go to the north
Why
rim.
would you? Jordan, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I was really expecting a flat no there.
No,
that's the way that you're speaking about the Grand Canyon makes. I'm like, tell me you've never been to the Grand Canyon without telling me.
No, I just know that my experience is the only valid one. That's the difference. I'm a straight up
education, everybody.
Yep, this is what you get from the Ivies. This is why we need to abolish them, friends.
Nationalize.
That we did with the Harvard goalie.
Yes,
we have nationalized the Harvard goalie.
We nationalized the Harvard goalie.
Our goalie. Not
it's
your
our goalie now. It's ours.
Our goalie.
Our goalie.
I hadn't considered giving Northern Arizona some closer rivals as well, but that works as well. I'm really excited about that.
No, it's really good. And the problem too is it's a big pain in the ass to get to Flagstaff in general.
Yeah.
Depending on how you're getting there. Like flights to Flagstaff they can be prohibitively expensive.
Yeah. Because I mean,
so this makes it easier to get there if you're trying to get
honestly, it's probably better to fly to Phoenix.
It's 100% better to fly to Phoenix and drive up. Yeah. And I'm sure there's like tram, like buses and stuff that go up there as well.
That's a tough drive that I made it last year.
I've done that one too.
That is a tough one. On the way down, great. On the way up, it was rough.
You were
just
telling me it was like up.
it was seriously like I know Phoenix is like what, like 900 feet elevation. I was going up to 7,200 feet of elevation. For God's sakes, I was going into the mountains, which my New Orleanian ass is used to being below sea level.
With this becomes an issue with the WAC. The WAC, they've tried to kill that thing dozens of times. And then like in Kill Bill where she punches her way out of the fucking coffin, the WAC reappears. But this might be it. Because here's what's happening. The football teams of the Atlantic Sun and the WAC football teams that are left are forming an alliance. The WAC is going to rebrand as the United Athletic Conference, which is right now the name for the FCS conference that has those football teams.
Yes.
But it's going to become an all-sports conference as the UAC.
Yes.
And they're going to have, I think it's 2 teams left in the WAC football. Maybe. Is it Tarleton State and
oh God, what's the other one?
Is it Abilene Christian?
Abilene Christian?
Yeah.
Are they back in the Southland?
No, Abilene has not been in the Southland.
Current members are Abilene Christian, Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, Southern Utah, Tarleton State, and Utah Tech. So get rid of 2. That leaves them with 5 teams.
Yes. So it's Abilene Christian and Tarleton.
Yes, because Central Arkansas is out. Eastern Kentucky is...
Well, no. So those are the ASUN schools that are...
Oh, sorry.
That's from the ASUN side that are going to be in the new United Athletic Conference. And then the ASUN is going to just retain the non-football schools.
Yeah.
So it's like when the Big East broke up officially, where the football schools were in one conference and the non-football schools were in another. But they are still going to have like an alliance of some sort. I don't know how much weight to put on college football conference alliances.
Yeah. Not as hard as I can throw them.
They're going to be, so there's, I think, 7 football playing schools and 8 non-football playing schools, but UT Arlington is going to be with the football playing schools. So
they're going to be in the WAC side of things.
So the United Athletic Conference will have 7 football schools, 8 total, and the Atlantic Sun will now have 7 schools.
It seems like so few for the UAC WAC to survive, but there's no one else out there, so where they're going to go? It is weird that this conference is going to stretch from Eastern Kentucky all the way to like Tarleton State. That's better
not that far for.
It's better than it used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the ACC contains fucking Stanford, so UW's in the Big Ten.
Ross Dellinger, friend of the program, says Utah Tech and Utah State's, or Southern Utah's addition, not Utah State, additions to the Big Sky in 2026 get the league to 11 members and comes a week after Sacramento State announced its departure to the Big West in all sports except football starting in 2026. The departure of the Utah schools plus the addition of 5 ASUN schools brings the United Athletic Conference in 2026 to 8 members, 7 of them playing football. Tarleton, Abilene Christian, UT Arlington, which is not football, Eastern Kentucky, North Alabama, Austin Peay, Central Arkansas, and West Georgia. Forgot about West Georgia. The ASUN will be left with 7 more like-minded baseball-centric schools. These members include Bellarmine, Lipscomb, Queens, Jacksonville, North Florida, Stetson, and Florida Gulf Coast. The
Basketball-centric.
Yeah.
Basketball-centric.
Did I say football?
Baseball.
Baseball.
The 2 conferences, the ASUN and the UAC, will remain separate, hold individual championships, and each retain their NCAA AQ, but will work together to leverage their collective assets, such as a unified media package and built-in scheduling agreement. Sure. I feel like that can do whatever, like Arthur said, but the new UAC goes Tarleton, Abilene Christian, Eastern Kentucky, North Alabama, Austin Peay. Austin Peay is in what state?
Tennessee.
Central Arkansas, and to West Georgia. Okay, that's like Sunbelt-ish.
Yeah, a little bit further extended Sunbelt-ish.
Right. Okay, that's not nearly as far off as I thought they were. Losing the Utah schools makes it way more compact. Okay, we have to figure out whether coaches are scared or not, because after last year, they had the Big 12 football media poll, preseason poll, and they put Utah first, and they put Arizona State dead last. Brett McMurphy says that the Big 12 ADs and coaches have decided to do away with the league's preseason media poll. Big 12 will continue its preseason all-league teams. Now, someone made a very interesting point. If you just completely flipped last year's coaches poll, preseason media poll, it's only a little worse than what they actually did in terms of absolute value of mean difference or whatever. Basically, if they had just flipped last year's poll that they voted on, it would have been better.
I want to do something here for that, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. I was trying to mess with it over the weekend, but I wanted to like make one of those gifts where you just like choose your Big 12 preseason poll, and it's just like all the teams in a random different order, and you got to screenshot it for the Big 12 preseason poll. I was trying to
can I throw in some random non Big 12 teams?
Yes, I mean just do it.
Okay.
Like just throw in former Big 12 teams that used to be in the Big 12.
Oh, I was gonna throw in like the Dallas Cowboys or like the Seattle Seahawks.
Anybody in the go ahead. I mean,
you got to have the Cowboys in there so you can talk about the Dallas Cowboys because we don't do that enough.
I mean, we got to talk about the Cowboys.
If we started talking about the Dallas Cowboys, y'all, we would be Norway's #1 football podcast. I'm just saying.
Norway?
Global.
Okay.
We'd be global. I'm thinking
big fans in Oslo. Okay.
Norway has a big petroleum industry.
Okay.
And I assume there is some ice aggies.
I'm gonna be Googling this in Norwegian.
I just think it's hilarious that we basically bully. I know this isn't the case. I get this, but like they got bullied out of doing this.
No, okay, go ahead, Arthur.
I was gonna say, so I don't think scared is the right word. I don't think it's like fear where coaches are like, oh, I'm gonna get it wrong. I do think that, and also I don't think it's coaches ever filling these out, right? Like this is probably some assistant or somebody in the athletic department doing this for the coach.
But yeah.
Like this is not, but I don't think very many coaches are like really sweating this hard. I think there's two factors here. One, coaches just don't want to do it because they don't want to take the time. And two, pretty much the only thing that you can really get out of the poll, especially nowadays, like it used to be back in the day when only 2 teams made the playoff, that it was really helpful to have like some preseason hype, right? Like a high preseason ranking. If you could just maintain that, then you're in a better spot than if you were unranked and had the same season. But the biggest thing now is just like that bulletin board material, right? Like you don't want to rank a coach or rank another school real low, and then suddenly their coach can use that to fire up his guys. You know, like I feel like that's really the only thing that these media polls would do. And coaches don't want to give an advantage to another team by disrespecting them.
You got to give them bulletin board material. That's why I want to make one. Like nobody believes it, and just put like the Sickos Committee preseason poll. You screenshot it. They're all over the place. Every coach gets bulletin board material. We give every coach bulletin board material. And on top of that, my main point is that none of the coaches know who's going to be good this year. There's too many transfers. Everybody has like 25 new people in the portal. Nobody knows what's going to happen, and they just don't want to take the time to guess. Because
nobody knows. Guess. Nothing means anything.
No. Some of our friends on the social media sphere, namely Shehan Jayaraja, is confident, and he said he will do one. And I said, you need to come on to the podcast. And he was like, he gave me the eyes emoji. So I think I'm going to have to set that up for the Big 12 preview.
Has Shehan never been here?
Shehan has not been on our podcast. We'll have to get him on.
I've only talked to him in person, I guess. Wow. Okay.
Yes. So we got to get him on the pod.
I'm telling you, that game when I was there with Chris Vanini, Shehan, and me.
Yeah.
In a row was too much rowdy boy energy for the room.
Speaking of rowdy, I just want to follow up on a previous point. I can find no evidence that there is a large Dallas Cowboys fandom in Norway, but I was reminded that Texas in Norwegian, the word Texas, means like crazy or out of control in kind of a snafu foobar kind of way.
Okay.
So everything's gone to shit. It's Texas.
I love it.
Now there's an Odd Nordstoga song by that.
Let me do the ad read here, and then we'll get into our second half of stuff. As always, join our Beehive where you get our written works. Commish goes through and has been doing all summer the records that won't get beaten again, or the wildest records, the weirdest records, and he's still working on his college FA Cup.
Yes, round 2 ready for Monday. It is done. Round 2 is basically let's just think about it. You really don't have many FCS teams in it. You have a few, but round 2 will get all of the NAIA, D3, all D2, pretty much all through the grinder. And round 3, which is going to be next Monday, is going to be where we get FCS and some of the FBS. And then round 4 is where everybody remaining is in. But round 2 is out Monday. If you haven't read it when the podcast comes out, go ahead. It was kind of wild. We kind of changed the formula slightly to tilt towards the favorites. But honestly, there was so many upsets you probably won't even notice. So I probably could have said nothing, but I just want to be fully transparent. It's slightly tweaked. Really, still kind of crazy wildness in the College Football FA Cup round 2.
Join our Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our Discord and our secret podcasts.
Oh.
And Commish, maybe I'll start doing the 5 minutes every week of like, you know what really grinds my gears?
Do it. I mean, I've always wanted to do Corvallis Love with love notes, but I don't know if I can maintain the voice of the entire podcast. It'd be very difficult. But we just had behind the Patreon, we had an interview with the Idaho State Athletic Director, Pauline Thyros, that came out on Friday. So you get that. We're going to have some more coach interviews. I'm going to keep hounding schools. We did another one that we're going to talk about in just a moment. And so that'll be on the Patreon too. If you want to join, just $5 a month.
Oh no, I got more ad read. Shit.
Yes.
Go to our merch store, sickoscommittee.org. Commish has been playing with stuff. I only see like the pictures you drop.
Yes. I did a lot of things. I made the Oh No Disaster. What a bad idea. But I made like actual alcohol drinking glasses because I feel like we need those in this time.
Yes.
Instead of just a coffee mug. So we have a rocks glass, we have a wine glass, we have a pint glass. Also, we have 4 new characters. I put in the store as a joke, like Sicko's shoes. They are in the chat. They are like sneakers, lace-up sneakers with like the Sickos people printed on them. It's great. Along with our like 40 some odd, new products for all new characters. And remember, we share those profits with the cartoonist. We're still anticipating a latest Sickos character at some point, and we will let you know about that too. We'll buy some merch. Help us travel. Help us keep this going.
Yeah.
What
Sickos is ladies too.
What is the most Sickos footwear that we could theoretically make?
They have flip-flops. I could make flip-flops.
I mean, it's gotta be
really
Crocs,
cheap
right?
flip-flops.
Like Crocs is the answer to your question.
I was thinking about those like god awful Kanye shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if we're talking about things Kanye can dream up, I don't know that there's a bottom there.
We don't need to reference that. So yes.
What if we did like the Balenciagas that look like socks, but they're like they got the Sickos.
We do have Sicko socks in there.
Yeah. Sickos red bottoms.
We can dress you from fucking head to toe.
They have all over print women's high top canvas shoes, so like fake Chuck Taylors.
Oh, that's kind of a vibe.
They have the men's, they have the slides, they have the ladies slides. I could make some more stuff. I've just been doing this and throwing stuff in there.
Can we get underwear yet? I know they have a bikini.
They do have bikini, all over print bikini. They do have many different apparel.
Listeners, I don't remember when it was, but I put the Sickos guy face on the boobs and dropped it into our sneaky chat.
Yeah.
And during the show, I believe, and made Pitt Girl and Beth absolutely just lose it.
Yeah, there's an all over.
I will remind you that these were also white. This was a white bikini. For long-time listeners will remember that this is the origin of that's where the pasties go. But...
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Go to our YouTube, go to our Instagram, go to our Twitch. Shout out to Message Board Geniuses podcast. They go to places we refuse to go. And as always, for the softest, comfiest, officially licensed collegiate and beyond apparel, use Home Field Apparel. Offer code yes, yes, 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. Anyone have anything else they want to plug? Things in your life that are just interesting? No one? Okay.
I mean, I can, but you don't.
I'm just looking at the Sicko shoes.
The
Can we get them where the top part is black?
You want the top part black?
Yeah.
Instead of
where
white?
the Sickos guy stands out a little more.
Yeah.
Okay. I can make that. I
also feel like maybe he's facing the wrong way.
I can spin that around too.
Yeah, because it's just
I think
he's giving me the like your tattoo is upside down vibe.
I'll turn it around.
What's
Like
the
I said,
tattoo is upside down vibe?
So this is a thing of discourse. If you have like a tattoo that is directional on a part of your body that faces people, it's supposed to be so like mine is legible to the people who are looking at it. If I am looking at it, it's upside down. That is how it is, air quotes, supposed to be. If you want to do it whatever way you want to do it, that's fine. But technically, if I had this facing the other direction, it would be upside down.
Yeah, mine is legible to mine on my wrist is legible to me.
Mm-hmm.
But
which means
like
just sometimes tattoo purists will be like, "That's upside down."
It's upside down. Yeah,
it's for me, asshole.
Right. I'm the one who looks at it, not you.
I panicked for a moment because I forgot about Utah Valley and was like, "Oh my god, do they have football? Do I have a Utah school that's not in the new UAC? No, they don't have
Big
football.
West.
They're also in the Big 12 for wrestling, like everyone is." Okay. Let's go back to talking about things. Commish and Brigit, you got to interview Dayton head coach Trevor Anderson. How was that?
It was honestly, it was a blast. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of fun. They were aware of us.
Oh,
so that was
that's always fun when they know who we are.
Yeah,
the head coach called you out by name, Jordan.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Yes,
you're in trouble.
He knows your job.
He knows your job is graphic design. He wants you to do something.
Okay. He literally said, "Doesn't Jordan do all your graphics?" And we said, "Yes, sir, he does."
Yes, sir, he does.
I got to snap to it.
So Jordan, do you know the Dayton hook helmet? Like the old school vintage Dayton hook helmet. All right. So you have to find a solution to this problem. So I'm going to get the Dayton hook helmet out here. So the Dayton hook helmet, it's basically, it has like the really long Y in Dayton.
Okay, I vaguely remember this.
Okay, and it goes around the ear hole. So like I'll give you one of those. Let me just copy that. Now, the only problem nowadays is that the helmet has changed. The helmet is completely changed.
Okay.
So the hole is different. So that's the Dayton hook helmet with the Y that goes around the circle, right?
Got it.
Now you have the Dayton Flyer helmet that basically looks like this with the hole that's completely different. It's not the same.
It's not a round hole. It doesn't work.
It's not a round hole. No.
Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what Coach Anders said, where he said he loves the helmet and he wants to bring it back. And they've looked at bringing it back, but the logo doesn't work to wrap the same way around the ear hole as it does in the old school helmet.
You'd have to move it up so much. You could do it around the little arrowy looking thing, but yeah, man, that's just annoying.
You would also have to kind of change the Y shape. It wouldn't be as like
it would not be as satisfying.
It would be like the way that like in the 90s we would write our Ys, where you go like this, and then you do it like all the way across.
Mm-hmm. Damn. Okay, let me think. That sucks.
I feel like it's doable if you're willing to be a little creative with the logo. But you were called out by name, so we thought we'd bring it to you and ask you to see what magic you can work.
I love it.
Yes, you were called by name. You're like, hey, Jordan's got to figure this out.
Called out specifically.
Specifically said that.
I can help the flyer community.
Also, we got some breaking news. Which he gave us breaking Dayton news. Now you remember Dayton? Dayton is in the Pioneer League.
Yes.
And they were one of the schools that would broadcast their games on Facebook Live still. Well, no more, folks. They've gotten YouTube. They're moving on up to YouTube.
That's better. That's way better.
That's way better.
That's what we said.
We said it's way better. They said it's way better. And they're going to do it. So they wanted us, the committee, to have that news to break. So when the podcast drops, or we can break it on Monday, whatever. But we have news. No more Facebook for the Flyers. They're moving on up to an actual YouTube channel to broadcast some of their games when they're not on ESPN+.
And then I insert the clip here.
I'm going to make a major announcement with you guys. We are. This is the first. Breaking news. We're going to leave Facebook Live for our broadcast, and we're going to go to our YouTube channel, YouTube TV channel. So
nice.
For this year, we'll be. I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but
we love the Facebook game. We would always promote it. so hard. Like I don't even have Facebook
But now
anymore.
more people can watch it because sometimes
Now
Facebook
more.
is really weird
Yeah,
about
it's hard,
how
and
they do videos and how they archive, and at least on YouTube.
And everybody streams. Everybody's TV streams YouTube, and there's not a lot of Facebook apps.
No.
Yeah.
So
and I don't think you can stream from Facebook to a TV, which makes it difficult.
Yeah. So I wanted to break that with the Sickos
Breaking news with the Sickos. Oh man, we're getting breaking news here. This is awesome. We're gonna put this on the podcast that we got coming out next Tuesday for sure. So thank you, Coach, for that info.
Absolutely.
One other thing here that we were talking with him, and we were trying to do like six questions with the Sickos committee, and in the middle of it, Brigit and I were like, who the hell is Dayton's rival? Like, does Dayton even have a rival? Like, Wikipedia doesn't even have a rival listed for Dayton. And so we asked the coach the question, and he was like, I thought you were going to talk to us about this flag. What flag? And so he says, when Jim Harbaugh was the head coach of the San Diego Toreros, he made up a rivalry trophy with Dayton, and it was a flag.
That's wild. That's wild shit.
So apparently this is what happened here. There's an ESPN article of it, and like some people have interviewed Harbaugh about this. We actually know a little bit more details of the whereabouts of the flag, but we kind of want to bring it back too. So this is what it says. Before Harbaugh arrived at San Diego, they had won one game against its biggest rival, which again, there's no real rivals in the Pioneer League. You don't always play everybody every year. The University of Dayton. Since joining the Pioneer Football League in 93, Harbaugh won his first matchup of 2004, 38-35, with a game-sealing interception by David Bakhtiari, who dropped back into coverage and picked off Dayton quarterback Brandon Stae. Brandon Stae, former Chargers head coach, who got fired, and then Harbaugh replaced him. So this is kind of full circle here. This is crazy. After the win, Harbaugh decided he needed to add stakes to this rivalry. So without consulting the opposing team head coach of Dayton, he bought a flag and designed it so it was Dayton red on one side and San Diego blue on the other. He decided that the teams would play the flag each year, adding the final score to the flag after each game.
That is the shittiest low effort. Like, come see me after class, student who tried to make this rivalry thing.
Man,
but
I wish I'd known about this earlier.
This is low budget Pioneer flag action rivalry here.
I would have drafted this.
Go to the fucking store and go to the antique store and grab a tool.
Grab something, right?
Don't do this.
So San Diego ran out with the flag ahead of its matchup the following year, with the 38-35 score written much to the confusion of the Dayton players. In 2005, San Diego won 48-24. And then Harbaugh goes to their coach. Oh, by the way, we made this flag. This is what we were playing for every year. We obviously get to keep it because we won 2 years in a row now. And the other coach, which is like a Hall of Fame coach, Kelly for the Dayton Flyers, is confused. Like, we'll have to think about it, coach. San Diego would beat Dayton again the following year before Harbaugh left for Stanford after 3 seasons. Without Harbaugh the following year, San Diego lost for the first time in 4 matchups. It was the final time the teams played for the flag. They came and ripped the flag off our sidelines, and I think it's in someone's garage now. They never ended up playing for it again. They were so mad, but it was cool. He artificially created this trophy game, but it got us all pumped up. We were all about that flag. The head coach, Trevor Andrews of Dayton, informed us the previous head coach of Dayton football has the flag.
Okay, so it's still extant. I like this.
It's still there. I think it's Dayton head coach. I think it's Mark Kelly. Sorry if my name is wrong. Mike Kelly. It's a Mike Kelly, not Mark. Mike Kelly.
Mark Kelly is an astronaut and a senator.
He has the flag. So Mike Kelly has the flag. I want to know, like, do we need to buy like a house divided flag they can play for now?
On the same side makes it seem less lazy. For some reason, just the one side, one color, the other side, the other.
Yeah.
Makes me hurt.
Can we get like something in the middle? Like the flying Torero flag? Or I mean,
you merge the logos together or something. This is not difficult.
We need to send it to them. We gotta like ship them something.
Oh! You want to get the new rivalry trophy going. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we asked if we could sponsor it.
Like, can we sponsor it, the Sickos Committee? Because Dayton doesn't have a rivalry, and we want to have something listed in Wikipedia. We want to create this. And they play San Diego this year.
I mean, I think this previous thing that happened with Jim Harbaugh would be enough to add in Wikipedia as a rival.
Yeah.
Oh, I could probably get it past the.
Like, we just have to cite whatever.
Well, I have the article right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some wiki nerds will come at us and be like, actually, that's not a legitimate rivalry.
It is not.
We have a
Sources. They're still
sources. If we get Swim to talk about this, then it's real source.
I think we need to do something. We need to create a better flag and then let them play for the flag. And I mean, I don't know what we want to call it. Like what was that song? Battle Flag?
Battle Flag by Lo-Fi All-Stars?
Sure, yeah. That's the theme song now.
I said hallelujah.
That's right.
16 royal beans. Yep,
that's it. Done.
Commish, you got a present this week. What did you get?
Yeah, I did. I got my t-shirt.
Ooh.
I already had this shirt. But
it's a good shirt though.
I got a miniature Kibbie Dome.
It's glorious.
It's so good.
So like I'm working at home on Friday. All of a sudden the doorbell rings and I hear somebody drive off. I'm like, oh, it's UPS, whatever. They just dropped something off at the door, UPS. And then so it's like this little tiny box. And I'm like, what is this? And so I slice it open and my kiddo's home with me. And we open it and then like I the first layer I get it, and then there's like a box. It says like Idaho on the top. I'm like, what is this? Okay. So I pull it out. I pull the box out, and on one side of the box, it says the weirdest little stadium in like college football.
Okay.
And, like, the weirdest college football stadium in America.
In America, yes.
As attributed to ESPN.
As attributed to ESPN saying that. And so I got that box and I opened it. It's a miniature figurine of the Kibbie Dome. And I'm like,
and it opens. You could use it as a jewelry box if you wanted to.
I could.
Oh, that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately my
throw your big earrings in there.
My 8-year-old takes this from me. And it's just like, he's like, look, you could like have it tilt up and one of the sides is open. It's kind of like you could have like a Kibbie Dome jewelry box or whatever if you want. And so I'm just
gonna say, Idaho people, close your ears real fast. That would be the best place to store your weed and paraphernalia. Just like
I feel like there are Idahoans who are down with that. You're not wrong. This would be a quality stash box.
It's not a hinging thing.
100%. That's fine.
It's not. I'm just gonna say it's not stable either. If you move it, like the roof will move. It is not like you have to have it sitting. It's not like hinged or magnetic down.
You could make that. Put little magnets on there. It'd be.
Go ahead.
Ooh, yeah.
Put the Kibbie Dome magnets.
Tiny magnets.
Go get me my glass piece from the Kibbie Dome. It's up there on the shelf.
So what I'm hearing is sewing supplies.
You need to put something in there.
That's sure.
Sewing supplies.
Just not butter cookies. Never butter cookies.
Yeah, no butter cookies.
In my last life, it would have been bassoon reed shit, like cracked reeds or extra wire or something.
I feel like that's somehow worse than keeping weed in the Kibbie Dome.
I have so much like leftover. I was going through some of those boxes the other day. I have so much leftover like bassoon cane, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to make reeds anymore. Because fuck that process.
Can you carve it into some other shape?
Yeah, I mean, I could totally do that. I'm not good at
arts and crafts,
but I could figure something out as long as they're circular.
So here's what I'm saying, right? So we were just talking about, we need to figure out how to make a rivalry trophy or something. Okay. Can you just make one out of this wood you have?
We made you a present.
It's so good. I am so happy you got this, Commish.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. They didn't necessarily like they tagged us in the original one, and they were like, "Hey, do you want one?" I'm like, "Yeah." So, like, okay, they tagged us in it. We bumped it, and I completely forgot about it because apparently this was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
I don't June maybe. It was around Father's Day, I think, or like a week or something before Father's Day. But yeah, this is incredible. It's like $30 plus shipping. It's amazing. It's a fun little knickknack to have around the house. It is cool, and it is on my 8-year-old's nightstand. That is where it is now. He's absolutely in love with it, and he's claimed it. So thank you so much, Idaho. And he wants to go to the Kibbie Dome now.
Blessings upon the tiny Kibbie Dome.
Of course.
So I have another idea for the rivalry trophy. What two schools do you think would most likely to play for bassoon reeds?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be like Rochester, University of Rochester, and like North Texas, some bizarre combination like that.
Yeah.
Indiana. Oh,
what if Juilliard had a football team?
I was also thinking Berkeley and Boston.
That would be like Oberlin levels of bad. If you think Oberlin's like been having a rough century and a bit, the Juilliard football team would have had a worse one.
I'm just saying, what if they did? They could play for the bassoon reed.
That's why everyone cracks the joke on football or Harvard having a football team, but they're not bad. In fact, they're traditionally one of the better teams in the Ivy League. When you would think they wouldn't be, but they still are. But Oberlin football is just bad. I think Commish, they've had one highlight in their whole career, and it was beating Ohio State once.
Hey, that is a quality win.
I'm gonna let you know they have made it to the 3rd round of the college football Sickos FA Cup.
Hell yeah,
they have.
They have made it, and I'm like, I'm rooting for any school that has 700 whatever in their name, and like in their ranking.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I just want all the 700s to get through. And there was one bracket where like 748 and 752 both advanced. And then like Oberlin's like 762, I think. Like almost dead last at 764. And they are in round 3. So this is like ULM's gonna lose to Oberlin. I love it.
I would like to read from Wikipedia, as is my wont. Oberlin Yeoman football. The Oberlin Yeoman football represents Oberlin College in college football at the NCAA Division III level. The program is known for having begun the coaching career of player and coach John Heisman, being the last in-state team to defeat Ohio State, and having one of the worst records in college football history from 1990 to 2001.
Oh,
this is such our shit. This is our shit.
They're literally doing yeoman's work.
They are.
They've made it to the next round. I mean, they won 7-6 in I think 1921.
I mean,
yeah. Hang on, I'm looking. Rivalries: Ohio State.
Yeah, there you go.
Oberlin is a former rival of Ohio State, having both been members of the Ohio Athletic Conference.
If they can list Ohio State as Oberlin's rival, we can put San Diego as Dayton's rival.
Oh, we have a way better story.
In 1921, the teams Ohio State and Oberlin met again as Ohio State came off a Rose Bowl appearance in a conference championship the previous year. The Buckeyes gained the lead in the first 5 minutes of the game after they scooped up a blocked Yeoman punt and scored. The Buckeyes score would be the last time Ohio State crossed Oberlin's goal line.
Jesus.
In the 3rd quarter, the Yeoman put together an 85-yard drive that ended with a touchdown. Oberlin's kicker completed the point after, which proved to be all the lead that the Yeoman would need to seal the victory. This remains the last time that another team from within Ohio has beaten Ohio State.
So it was the final score 7-6 in 1921, right?
Yes.
All right, I got that right.
Now we know. Commish already knew. That's why he's Commish. He knows things.
Here's the better thing. You would have thought that their record would have been shit that year, right? Because of this.
Mm-hmm.
No, they went 5-2.
Yep.
They beat Michigan. Did the important things. Beat Chicago, which at that point was spicy. 1921. Yeah, it's a little past their prime. But yeah, in fact, this whole season, the only teams to score on Ohio State were Oberlin and Illinois.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. That's not great, y'all. You're not playing to win the game, folks. Lost my doc. Found it. We're good.
We got a map to talk about.
Yes. We had a member of the committee send us a county by county map of conferences closest to like where the center point of the school is, basically.
Yes. Yeah. This is a thing that started on RCFB.
Yeah.
A long time ago, called the imperialism map, where basically you say, okay, we've got the school here, and we're going to figure out where the centers of all the counties are closest to each school, and then we're going to make a map and pretend that every school has an empire. And when you win, you take the other team's land, and eventually you have like, someone controls Ireland, for example, as we have done these. This one shows Texas by conference, assuming that Texas State is joining the Pac-12, and like every conference is in here now. Shit's crazy. This is like some Holy Roman Empire ass shit.
There's 10 FBS conferences, and Texas has 7 now. Because
so hold up. So we don't have MAC. We don't have
no MAC.
No MAC. No Big Ten.
No Sun Belt.
No Sun Belt now.
No Fun Belt.
Because Texas State is leaving.
That's right. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Either Stephen F. Austin or Sam Houston can jump to the Sun Belt. Just make it okay.
Well, what if instead of conference realignment, we do state realignment? So, like, Texas takes over Lafayette or something.
I mean,
this is just diplomacy. The game diplomacy.
Oh no!
But with the U.S. man,
we don't talk about.
I got to play diplomacy for a class once.
Oh. We should play it on the podcast one episode.
No,
when
it would be more than one episode.
I fucking refuse to play diplomacy.
Yeah, it would have to be like a series because you do move.
Somebody wanted us to play that weird game you mentioned that one time. That the longest
Conquest
game.
Or the
the
Africans.
Yeah. There are
campaign
long
for North Africa.
There are long games that we can play that would be a lot of fun, but not be nearly as like painful as either diplomacy or. I mean, I
think it should be painful.
The Dune game is great. The Battlestar Galactica game is one of my favorites because it has a traitor mechanic. Like some of you are evil robots trying to kill humanity, but we can't tell who you are. And so it's a lot of fun. And
isn't that just Among Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the board game version of Among Us. But the board game came out in like 2005, so it's more impressive because of that. But I mean, it's like what is it, Werewolf or Mafia? Whatever you call that version of the game.
Yeah. I would like to take this moment also to note that like state secession movements and county secession movements are alive and well. I spent the last week in Western Maryland and found out on the ride back, reading Wikipedia, as is my wont, that state representatives from the 3 westernmost counties in Maryland went to West Virginia and were like, hey, will you take us? Like last year. Like within the last 5 years.
Yeah, there's still a very large movement to get Eastern Washington to join up with Eastern Oregon and join Idaho and be a separate state, and they want to call it Liberty.
Sure, Jan.
It's very bad. So
I don't understand racing enough to understand what happened at BGSR Racing. Arthur, can you give me something here?
That's Bowman Grey Stadium.
Okay.
Also a college football stadium.
Home of the Winston-Salem Rams D2 team that plays on the infield of this racing stadium.
That's also wild shit.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I mean, you've seen football fields with tracks around them before.
I mean, we did see Tennessee and Virginia Tech play in Bristol. Yes.
But also just like football fields with running tracks.
Yes.
Right. It's a different kind of track.
The short track racing, yes.
Okay, so what happened in this clip?
Just play the clip. And I want your live reaction. It's a 2-minute and 37-second clip. We can have the commentary going.
Yet?
Yeah, I've watched
Have you watched it yet?
Okay.
Have you?
I have not.
Okay.
Oh, let's get Pickle's reaction. This is great.
Yeah, we got to get that.
House for a side-by-side short track spectacular.
Emily Lewis is in the catbird seat, but she loses ground right now. Brad Lewis on the outside.
Here we go, off the final turn. Stae slows in front of him. Stae gets the win as they wreck across the start-finish line.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so
oh, jeez, come on.
Wait, let it go.
Takes out Sac State. She didn't appreciate that.
Sac State was slowing down to interfere with the race finish and aid his son to victory. Kyler Stae did not need it. Kyler Stae won the race fair and square, but things got a little wild. No!
They gave the checkered flag to Brad Lewis.
Brad Lewis is now being declared the winner. Lewis, the officials deeming that the 7 and the 8. The fans are going crazy. It's bird season. Some of them are cheering. Some of them are flipping him off. Here comes Stae. He's out of the car. Here comes on the front stretch. Staley and Emily Lewis are not happy.
We got some jaw jacking on the start-finish line.
Staley.
Here comes
Sac Staley running across the grass. Sac Staley is running across the infield, football
He's a
field
runner,
here
he's a track
at
star.
Bowman Grey Stadium. He's not happy. He's going after Emily. He gets on Emily Lewis's car, and he jumps on it. Destruction. He's ripping the sheet metal off the car. Staleys are fighting. Everybody's on their feet, and now they're to the ground. Police have intervened as emotions explode at the Coliseum of Chaos.
They call this the madhouse for a reason, and you're witnessing it. We got headlocks.
Walking away with
the bird.
We've got Ric Flair chops. Doesn't matter if it's a female or male. They're at it. Tooth and nail. Staley's, Lewis's.
Gender equality right there.
Rolls
Racing.
over into this weekend.
Family feuds. Just absolute craziness in front of the spectacle of fans. There are people on the ground. There are people jostling. Brad Lewis climbs out the winner. Lewis climbs out and celebrates. The number 16 is declared your winner in one of the wildest, craziest finishes in the history of the street stock division at Bowman Grey. Kyler Staley's on his car, flipping off the winners.
And Matthew, this is the first race of the night. There's more to come.
What will happen here?
That was amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So shout out to Mace for bringing that to the committee's attention. And
holy shit.
I
That's
posted
amazing.
it on Blue Sky. Apparently this happens all the time at Bowman Grey because Bowman Grey, what is the nickname of the track, Arthur?
The Coliseum of Chaos.
The Coliseum of Chaos.
It's just kind of known specifically that this track, Bowman Grey Stadium, has just people fight. Like that's where you go to fight, you know?
That's where the fight juice is.
Yeah. Like it's sort of known that way, the same way that, you know, like teams don't want to play a night game in Kinnick. You just you get a reputation. It's just, I don't know, just people fight there.
Families are going to fight. You're going to have dads are going to fight. This is uncle fighting 101. No, actually, this is advanced uncle fighting. Never mind, because they're coming out of like short track cars. This is advanced uncle fighting.
Yes. And reminder that uncle knows no gender.
True.
Oh no, absolutely. Ladies as uncles too.
Have you guys seen the girl fight that's going around on Blue Sky?
Okay.
Yes.
That was near me. It's from Frisco.
Oh my God! Of course it is.
Teal dress, play football. Teal dress, please. We need you at linebacker.
Teal dress was okay. Teal dress was not there to fuck around. Red dress was smart about it. Gave a half-hearted performance and then got the fuck out of there. But teal dress the punch teal dress lands.
Teal dress lands a punch. Teal dress launches polka dot dress so hard her titty pops out. And polka dot dress is still about it somehow.
She doesn't even stop to pop it back in.
No.
What? I mean, why would you? It's a girl fight. Things happen.
Oh, it was at the Star, the Cowboys' little fancy place.
Oh my God. My nephew used to bartend by there.
Go to Bombshells and you'll settle it down.
Is that the place where you can go on a tour of the Cowboys facility in the middle of the season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
good to know, just specifically that this happened there.
Teal dress is my kind of woman. I'm gonna say that.
Commish likes a woman with some fight in her. I respect it.
Again.
Listen, there's something to be said for a woman who doesn't start a fight but knows how to finish it.
Yep. Yeah, teal dress didn't start it, had her hair up, took her heels off, and finished it. Good for her.
She has got her reps in. She's been in the end zone before. She was on business the whole time.
Commish, did I ever tell you how Bombshells got started? The first Bombshells was adjacent to a strip club here in Dallas.
That sounds about right.
And basically, they realized they would make more money if they had like a restaurant kind of place as opposed to a strip club.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah, now it's just, the original is just there.
Family friendly.
It's still attached to the strip club. In Dallas, you can have
It's kind of like when I was in Monroe. I bartended at a club that was connected to a strip club. Sometimes I had to fill on the other side.
Let's see what else I got here. We have from Brigit, 2 Truths and a Lie, coaching edition.
Oh yeah.
I have a game.
Oh.
Again.
Woo.
Yay! Another very nice presentation.
Thank you.
Canva.
One brought to you by Canva. I like to make this easy on myself and you.
Ooh.
Because podcasting is a visual medium.
They're so pretty. We're the internet's second podcast with slides.
This yeah, but you don't get to see the slides. They're secret slides. I mean, I can start putting these up if people want, like, it's fine, but this is really just an excuse to use my Canva subscription that I only use for, like, wedding timelines and ads, and things of that nature. And this. So today's game is Where Was This Coach? 2 truths and a lie. The point of the game, number 1, each coach will have 3 coaching jobs listed. 2, I'm not going to trick you with a DB coach job. I'm not going to ask you to know who is quarterback's coach, who is tight ends coach, who is linebackers coach. I'm not going to go that deep. We're just going to start with head coach. Okay, and number 3, you're going to tell me which job this coach did not have. There's going to be some easy ones in here. There's going to be some difficult ones. I tried to go a little sickos, but not too sickos.
Okay.
Bless you.
So number 1, we're going to start with Norv Turner.
Okay.
Norv Turner, the bane of my existence. 3 head coaching jobs: USC, the San Diego Chargers, and the Detroit Lions.
I have never heard of this person.
Hey, I
hate him so much. I went on we went to a Monday Night Football game against the Broncos, and I brought a sign because I hated this guy so much.
I respect that immensely.
So we'll go Arthur, Commish, Jordan, and Pitt Girl.
Okay, I'm gonna go. So we're trying to pick the one that's
the one they
true?
didn't have. Which one you think they did not have?
Okay, I'm going to go Detroit because I want to say there's a stat out there that no Lions coach has ever gotten another job. So I figure that rules out it going one way. It could only go the other way. So
but what if it was his last job?
Right, that's what I'm saying. But at least it rules out it being a job before other jobs.
Okay. Commish?
I'm going Detroit also.
Okay.
I'm going to go Detroit because they're all saying the other ones are on the West Coast.
Okay. Pitt Girl?
I'm going to pick USC only because I've never heard of this guy, and the fact that I've never heard of him makes me think that it is probably because he spent most of his career in the NFL.
You are correct. He did spend most of his career in the NFL. However, the lie was that he did not coach the Detroit Lions. He coached the Oakland Raiders.
Yay!
He was the Chargers coach, and he was garbage. Number 2, Dennis Erickson. Listeners, if you've I
that's
did
not
have
fair
to pull
for me.
some from our Journeyman Coach series.
Yeah.
To find, because I had so many coaches, but some of them only had 2
Make
head
me go
coaching
last
jobs.
on this one.
So your options are Idaho, Washington, and the Salt Lake Stallions. We'll go Pitt Girl first.
I am going to say the Salt Lake Stallions is the lie here.
Okay, Jordan?
I know Idaho for sure. I don't think he coached in Washington.
Okay. Arthur?
Yeah, I'm going to go Washington mainly because I feel like Salt Lake Stallions is too much to have made up.
Yeah.
Are you saying I'm not that good? No, it's okay. And then Commish.
It's Washington because he coached
It's
at Washington
Washington.
State,
He coached at Wazoo.
The Salt Lake Stallions are of the defunct AAF.
The Alliance of American Football. Okay.
That's right.
Yep.
And
but
he
it was a head
Idaho
coaching job, so it counted.
Twice.
2 times.
And just 1 year each. It's 86 in 2004.
Yeah.
Or 2006. It was
a coaching job so nice that he had it twice. But only for 1 year.
Yeah, that's right.
Small doses.
That was fun. That was a fun Journeyman Coach one. Check that one out on our YouTube.
Okay, next we have everyone's favorite Terry Bowden.
Have me go last again.
Your options being Auburn, Florida, and North Alabama.
Okay, man. See, this is tough because I feel like it's definitely Florida, but North Alabama is pretty new as a program. I'm still gonna go Florida, but yeah, I mean, I'm surprised by North Alabama, but I'm going Florida.
Oh, I thought you had me go last.
Oh, do you want me to have you go last? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Pitt Girl.
Mo
I know he was at Auburn because my dad fucking hates him. Yeah, Terry Bowden. My dad's Hugh Freeze.
I mean, listen.
Until the current until the current
administration. On that note, can we get that motherfucker fired already? It's never too early to start. But yeah, I'm also gonna have to go with Florida here.
Okay. Jordan?
It's Florida.
Okay. And Commish?
Florida.
That is correct. The truth is Akron.
Yeah, he was at Akron forever.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say there's no way that Florida would hire a Bowden to be their head coach.
No.
I'd been really messed up. Yeah.
Now, hey Arthur, I'm gonna say something to you. I had to double check it. North Alabama's program is old, like 113 years old.
Yeah, it's new being FB or FCS.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. It was a D2 forever.
He was there at D2. They just moved up recently.
They were in the Gulf.
Okay, your next is another favorite, Bobby Petrino. Listeners, you may be picturing something in your head right now, and I hope you're laughing.
Oh, I'm hearing something in my head right now.
It just like burned into my sense memory. Your choices being Louisville, Missouri State, or Texas. Arthur?
I remember two of these because they're quite recent. And so I'm going to have to go with the one that is a word in Norwegian that you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Crazy.
The crazy option. Pitt Girl?
Yeah, if Bobby Petrino had been head coach at Texas, I would remember.
Yeah.
We would all remember because like every message board would have burned down.
Yep.
They hired a different guy from Louisville.
They did.
Yes.
They did.
Jordan?
If he had been a coach at Texas, I would have had more nosebleeds in my life than I currently have had. So he was not at Texas.
It's Texas.
And Commish.
It's Texas.
That is correct. He was at Arkansas.
Yeah, we all remember that.
Oh, yeah. Next, Kevin Sumlin. Your choices being Arizona, Oklahoma, and Houston. We'll keep that same order, Arthur.
I'm going to go Oklahoma.
Yeah, this is another one where, like, if Kevin Sumlin had gone there, I would remember.
Yeah.
And he didn't go there.
Jordan?
So, Oklahoma.
Same thing. I would have remembered if he'd been in Oklahoma. There's no way.
Can you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oklahoma.
Kevin Sumlin is not old enough to have been there before Bob Stoops was there, and Bob Stoops was there for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was at Texas A&M.
Yes, he was.
But I couldn't put Texas twice in a row. Speaking of options for Texas, we have Steve Sarkisian, and we have USC, Washington State, or Texas.
I'm going to go Wazoo here.
Yep, Sark was not at Wazoo.
Jordan?
Yep, Sark was at Washington, not Wazoo.
Wazoo.
Can anyone tell me the little phrase that we had on shirts when Sark was at Washington?
No, what was it?
I'll give you an extra point if you can.
It's not row the boat.
The phrase was bark for Sark.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Okay.
I regret not getting a bark for Sark shirt. I'm not going to lie to you.
On a sort of similar note, if anybody knows where I can get a high octane t-shirt, let me know.
I've got to find some. There's probably one in a thrift shop somewhere.
It was not that long ago. We were in my dad's office and we saw, like, in a pile of just tons and tons of papers and various things, was a high octane flyer.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
This is not an endorsement of Todd Graham at all, but I do really enjoy just being like, hey, you know, Pitt's got a shiny new offense now. You could call that high octane, and then just watching the entire rest of the fan base cringe.
Next, we have Butch Davis. We have the Cincinnati Bengals, North Carolina, or FIU.
Man, this is the first one that I don't think I know right off the top. I mean, I know he was at FIU, because he was there pretty recently. I'm gonna say the Cincinnati Bengals, but I'm not super confident on that.
He would have had to have been at UNC a while ago because I don't immediately remember him as having been a UNC coach because I'm like running through them and it's like we got Larry Fedora, we got obviously we have Bill Belichick, we have what's his face?
Mac Brown.
Yeah, Mac Brown.
Mac Brown.
Mac Brown.
Yeah. I guess I'm picturing
Mac
Larry
Brown's
Fedora.
retweets are wild, man.
I actually don't even mean Mac Brown when I say what's his face. I mean the guy between him. Was there somebody between Larry Fedora and him?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy. That's who I mean by what's his face.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all of that to say, none of those people are Butch Davis. So I'm going to go with North Carolina here.
Okay.
I'm like Arthur. This one I'm not really sure on. I know he went to the NFL. I don't know where he went. I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Bengals, he went to the Cleveland Browns. And that guy, what's his face, was Butch Davis at North Carolina.
Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, he coached the Cleveland Browns instead.
Okay.
Yeah, he left Miami for the Cleveland Browns. And, you know, I do have Canes fandom in my blood, unfortunately. It is latent, but it is there.
The fall off of his head coaching career going Miami, Browns, North Carolina, FIU.
So, yeah, he left Miami. He went to the Browns. That did not go well. He was paired with Tim Couch. I think he made the playoffs. He made the playoffs with the Browns, and his quarterback was Kelly Holcomb. He got fired from the Browns. He wound up back at Chapel Hill, and then like a couple years off, he was like an analyst or whatever, and he wound up back at FIU, and then he just recently left FIU before McIntyre got the job, but then now the former FAMU coach Willie Simmons just took the job there at FIU. I don't know why I know this, but I do.
Apparently you do. Okay.
I don't know why.
So your next one is another journeyman coach we have profiled, June Jones. So your choices are Hawaii, SMU, or the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Oh man, this is tough because I feel like he coached at all three of these, but I don't think you'd put a trick question in there.
No, there are trick questions here. I stuck to my rules of head coaching jobs only, because I didn't want to go too deep into like they were at this job, but they had this. Yeah, I tried to be kind this time while we test ran this game.
I am going to say the Saskatchewan Roughriders simply because I don't remember the specific CFL team, so it might be a different CFL team. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I know he was at Hawaii. I think Arthur's logic is probably correct here, and so I'm also going to go with the Roughriders.
I know Hawaii and SMU, so I'm going to go with Saskatchewan. He was in the CFL somewhere. I just don't know where.
All right, it is the Roughriders. He did not coach the Roughriders. He coached the Hamilton Ticats.
Oh.
He did play in the CFL too, but he was a backup quarterback, I believe, for the Argos, which is another one of our lovely journeyman coach series that we have on YouTube. This is fun to put together again because June Jones is our leader in the journeyman coach stats of all time. From job to job, he's traveled nearly 45,000 miles.
He racked up those miles at Hawaii.
Again,
a job so nice he had it twice.
Hawaii back and forth, and then Norm Chow got up there too, but
we have two more. Your next one, if you've listened to the full cast lately, I was reminded of this coach. It is Steve Adazio.
Oh yeah, because he was our most recent coach thrown, or he was the first. He was the first coach thrown.
Yes, the first. So we have
Loeffler, but yeah,
Scott Loeffler, and then Adazio, I believe.
Adazio got thrown out in his very last game.
That's what it was.
Yes.
So one of them you'll remember.
Yeah.
We have Colorado State, we have UMass, and Temple as your choices. So Arthur?
I'm going to go UMass. I mean, we literally just mentioned him getting ejected from his last game at Colorado State. I like to think that the ref ejected him so forcefully that, like, that's what fired him. I know they were going to fire him anyway, but like,
Yeah.
I want to imagine there's some sort of penalty they can throw, right? Where it's like, okay, like you got your unsportsmanlike conduct. You got, well, like on top of that, I want a ref just to come on the mic, be like fired, head coach, offense.
Yeah, it's UMass. He was at BC rather than at UMass.
Yeah, UMass.
It's UMass.
That's correct. He was at BC.
Yeah, he was at BC. He was at Temple for a time. Was he before or after Matt Rule?
He was. I think he was before Matt
I believe.
Rule.
Yes.
All right, last question here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Arthur, myself, Jordan are all at 9, and Pitt Girl's at 8.
Maybe I will bring up a tiebreaker real quick.
Okay.
So your last one is Dave Wannstedt. Did he coach the Chicago Bears, Pitt, or the Carolina Panthers?
I mean, I know he coached the Bears. I know he coached at Pitt. I got to say he coached the Pitt Panthers, not the Carolina Panthers.
Arthur, that was beautiful.
Thank you for
Same
that
answer.
Bravo. This is going to be the Panthers. The Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, which ones?
There you go.
It's Carolina.
That is correct. He coached the Miami Dolphins.
Yep, I remember the Dolph.
I was like, oh, I was gonna say like, oh, you'll recognize a name later in the series, and then I realized I shouldn't give that away. Okay.
If you had put like 3 NFL teams and maybe pick the right one, oh my god.
I thought about it, but I was like, no, I should go. I should go with some people who have like gone back and forth and try to trick people up.
But
for Wani, I would know.
Well, I wouldn't, but at the same time, like Dave Wannstedt as an NFL coach is very Chicago Bears in ways that I struggle to articulate.
It's true.
Like,
what was he like in Miami?
I could have told you.
What does that look like in Miami?
He was
He's
like,
got the mustache.
He got the
I
Miami.
feel like you get old enough, anyone from the Midwest can become Florida.
That is accurate. I mean, the Panthers are actually a good pick here too, because like anyone, you get old enough, anybody from Pittsburgh will move or at least spend a week on vacation in North Carolina. Like, you're on the right track.
That's his Wikipedia picture. That Dolphins with the sunglasses. That's his Wiki picture.
Okay, what's our score, Commish? And I'll bring up a tiebreaker.
We're like Arthur, myself, and Jordan all at 10. Pitt Girls at 9.
Okay.
Give her a 2-point bonus or a 3-pointer, whatever.
It's fine.
Yeah, give her a 3-pointer.
I was gonna say I have extra coaches that I didn't use.
Did you see that on? I think it was on YouTube because you posted this video on YouTube.
Yeah.
In our comments was the guy that did it.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
He was like, "Thank
you,
so much."
that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to that guy. Thank you, that guy.
That's our new favorite button.
That's amazing.
Oh no! Disaster!
That's our other favorite button.
I'm gonna keep putting that. That's right.
We're just going down the soundboard. So next time I do this, I will make it a little more difficult. I just wanted to test run and see how we would do with just head coaches.
It was great.
I had fun.
Good. I hope the listeners had fun, and it was moderately difficult trying to remember some guys.
I was gonna do ones where we had like coordinators move, but I just had.
Oh god!
I didn't have
that's
time.
where I went. I was like, I could do like, oh, he was a coordinator on the Minnesota Vikings, but I put Green Bay Packers instead, and I was like, that feels a little too cruel. It's the off season.
Where in the world is Matt House?
Oh god!
Where is Matt Canada? Where did he go?
Right.
I mean,
where is Alex Grinch? Oh my god, he's with Frosty the
Was the
coach
Grinch
at UCF.
The Grinch.
Oh, I'll do a game called Was the Grink There, and it will just be like, where has Alex Grinch coached?
Was the Grink there? I like that. Save that.
Do you guys know the NBA on TNT? They would do who he played for at the beginning of every season.
Yeah,
I feel like we can do.
We can do that. Who he coached for?
Who he coached for?
Who he coached for?
Could also do who he played for with the transfer portal.
True.
Oh god.
We can do that.
Welcome to our pitch meeting.
Who he played for? TJ Finley. You know, like that's like 9.
Oh, geez. Oh,
NC
god.
State, Auburn,
the cold
other places.
We've established on a previous episode that the Finley that went to NC State was Ryan Finley.
Yes. There's
I swear to God, TJ Finley was also at NC State.
No, TJ Finley's been. He was at Tulane last year. They left, or he went to Tulane in one portal.
There was a legal thing there, right?
Huh?
Yeah, it was a legal
there was
thing.
like a stolen car thing.
Yeah, he probably bought I think he bought a hot car and he didn't know it. From what I got out of that, is in New Orleans that could happen.
So
that feels absolutely reasonable.
Yes.
I have Googled TJ Finley, and
I also have his Wikipedia
about him having been at NC State. I swear to God, though. Anyway,
we
LSU,
had this exact
Auburn,
same
Texas
conversation
State, Western
before.
Kentucky, and Tulane. Look, I don't remember what happens on this show.
The transfer portal makes fools of us all.
It definitely does.
Okay, are we done for the evening?
I mean, we can keep remembering some guys and pitching
Remember
games.
some dudes.
I'm just thinking about where TJ Finley's been.
What's up? What's Tate Martell up to these days?